welcome to another episode of Three Style Life. Guess what? Today we interrupt this broadcast of Three Style Life to bring you some breaking news. Sweden. Police officials install blue headlights along the streets. Result? Decreased crime. Germany. Psychiatric employees paint the walls a different color and find that mental patient treatment improves greatly. United States. Chemists change the color of placebo pills and find that the results increase or decrease based on the color change. Now, one of these headlines is false. You can check the sidebar to figure out which one. But the point is, color psychology is still somewhat of a fringe science. Results are not widely accepted. It's not very clear whether any of these things are true. Do I care whether any of these things are true? Absolutely not. Is it interesting to know? You bet. Let's go ride the rainbow. Now, anthropologists have gone all over the world and studied hundreds of cultures. And for those cultures with a language, black and white are always the first two color words to be invented. And the third word to be invented is always red, across all cultures studied. And it's not hard to see why. The black and white probably represent night and day, and the red is obviously related to the blood. So these three colors are the boldest colors from a psychological perspective and from a cultural perspective. And these primal colors have a very strong impact on our minds. Red, for example, has been known to cause an increase in respiratory rate and heart rate, and literal physical effects can be generated from seeing these colors. The black and red kind of combination typically represents some mixture of power, passion, war, etc. And on the other hand, white is the balance to that with the purity, the innocence, the light. So these colors kind of have the overarching, large-scale cultural kind of terms embedded in them. And I'm really not going for a particular kind of dictionary definition meaning from these things. Rarely do I go and look in my closet and say, I want to look warlike today. No, it's just the guttural feeling. You know how strong the colors are, and I like bold colors, and that's why I wear them. My business cards have the same mixture of colors on them too, because I like the heavy contrast and the bold colors. If you want something powerful, something strong, something with a lot of energy and a lot of impact, black, red, and white are all excellent choices. It's yellow. Are you angry yet? Are you angry yet? Are you angry yet? Are you annoyed yet? Are you angry? Are you angry? Are you angry? Okay, let's calm you down. It's green. Green, 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 green. So what was the point of all that? Well, psychologists have studied the effects of colors on human motion, and they found that yellow is the most aggravating. It creates the most anger in patients, while green is the most soothing and calming among patients. And it's likely that these are reactions developed over evolutionary time. Perhaps plants and animals with yellow coloration were dangerous in early human days. Perhaps we just didn't want to stare at the sun all the time. On the other hand, green was obviously associated with edible plants, natural foliage, so it's a very comfortable, soothing color. And these effects are deep-seated within our brains, and they, in all likelihood, are very real effects that just don't have a very strong impact now that we have adjusted to the culture that we live in currently. Now, what about colors not found often in nature, like turquoise and purple? Unless you lived near a really interesting mineral deposit, you didn't see these colors until chemical processes made them mainstream. And because those processes were so rare at first and required, expensive ingredients like blueberries in large quantities, obviously, they became associated with richness, with extravagance, with royalty, and the rarity of the colors themselves created value. So especially up until like the last 100 years, blues, purples, unusual oranges, very kind of technicolor colors were regarded as rare and expensive. And for that reason, they do still evoke a sense of, what's going on here. That, since they're not natural colors, the human mind will think, why is that color, in my visual field? So it does create kind of a striking effect, and that's something very interesting that you can use. Anything bright or, not natural will create that effect. So that covers most colors. I left out orange because there's really not anything interesting to say about orange, I found, and not a lot of people wear orange anyway, so that's okay. So nobody really responded about their cold weather techniques or their packing techniques. So I'm going to give you some more time to work on that and give you a very simple question for this week, which is, what is your favorite color to wear and why? And, let me know in the blog, let me know here on YouTube, and I will talk about it next week and see what we find. Until then, take it easy.